From corpses to zombies to sentient suits, there are some strangely powerful Iron Man alternates out there. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. It's time for us to get to know some of these standout characters as we count down the top 10 most powerful alternate versions of Iron Man, Part 2. I'm actually so glad we're doing this list because a favorite alternate of mine was left out of Part 1, and now I get to talk about them, so yay! See if you can guess which one that is in the comments below. And for now, let's get counting. Number 10. Steel Corpse. Steel Corpse is definitely one of the most horrifying alternate versions of Tony Stark. He hails from the Age of X reality, that of Earth 11326. Here, Tony Stark ends up becoming infected with a virus that permanently merges him with his suit, causing him to slowly be devoured by it as time wears on. Still, despite the fact that the suit also possesses its own directives and was slowly overpowering Tony's own will, Tony managed to hold on long enough to ask that Cap take care of him when, against his own intentions at the time, his suit started targeting mutant children. Captain America did as Tony asked, killing him to ensure the mutant's safety and allowing Steel Corpse to die a hero. I mean, what more can you ask for if you're Tony Stark? As long as you go out glory blazing, you know what I mean? Glory blazing is not a thing anyone says. Don't say that. Number 9. Bullet Points Iron Man. Bullet Points Iron Man is actually Steven Rogers in the reality of Earth 70105. Here, Captain America never became, well, Captain America. Dr. Erskine was killed before the Super Soldier Project was completed, causing the government to turn to their backup plan, Project Iron Man. Steve volunteered for the plan, which saw him surgically grafted into an old school and, in this reality, I guess, original Iron Man suit. It wasn't old school at the time, but retroactive to now would be considered old school. Does that make sense? Instead of becoming a super soldier, Steve Rogers fought in World War II as Iron Man. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, we have a new channel coming your way. What? It is called Top 10 Nerd Elite, and it is for the most elite of the Nerd Squad members. So get on over there, hit that subscribe, and check it out for all of the glorious nerd bonus content. We're gonna have so many cool, exciting things coming up on there. I'm so excited. Number 8. Iron Man Noir. Iron Man Noir is the alternate version of Tony Stark who hails from Earth 90214, Marvel's Noirverse. In this reality, Tony Stark is still a genius and an inventor who even back in the 1930s managed to make himself an impressive suit of Iron Man armor. Here, Tony is also an errant wanderer who enjoys going on expeditions and adventures to hunt down lost artifacts. Along the way, he makes some powerful allies and learns dark truths about his family. Number 7. Younger Tony. A weird fact is that for a while in the main continuity, an alternate version of Tony Stark was actually the main version, while at the same time still remaining an alternate. Are you confused yet? Kind of like how Miles Morales is both Spider-Man in the 616 continuity, but also an alternate Spider-Man from outside of that continuity. Even though I know what you're all thinking, well, Miles Morales isn't like the main Spider-Man. Whatever, he's a main Spider-Man in my heart. And that's why this is a little bit different, because this version of Tony Stark actually took his predecessor's place. For a time, anyways. What happened was older Tony Stark, the original version, had been revealed to be a sleeper agent for Immortus, aka Kang the Conqueror. As a result, the Avengers brought back a younger version of Stark to help in defeating the hero turned villain. Unfortunately, that didn't work out great, and younger Tony Stark almost got himself killed. However, in the end, older Tony saw the error of his ways and sacrificed himself, passing the torch on to younger Tony of Earth 96020, plucked from earlier on in Tony's own timeline. This younger version of Tony would stick around on Earth 616, helping to defeat Stockpile, Frostbite, Zodiac, and eventually even Onslaught. After his seeming death at the hands of Onslaught, young Franklin Richards brought back all of the heroes who had fallen, including younger Tony and actually the older Tony from before, merging the two together. So younger Tony really is both an alternate and at the same time is part of Prime Tony Stark. Younger Tony, while powerful now as part of the 616 Tony Stark, initially mainly fought without full armor, instead often only coming armed with his chest plate and gauntlets, which is why he ranks so low on this list. But he's still powerful, he's still part of Prime Tony. So we gotta count that. Number 6. Agent Venom. For a very brief moment, Flash Thompson got to experience what it was like to be Iron Man when he donned an Iron Man suit in order to get in closer to Venom, which itself was bonded with Superior Spider-Man, making him lose control and turn violent. I don't know if we'd exactly consider him a true alternate, as I believe his time donning the armor was quite brief, unless there's something that I've missed here, but it's still a cool moment in a pretty cool story, and so for that reason, we're gonna count it today. Fortunately, through using the Iron Man armor, Flash was able to get up close and personal and lure the symbiote back to himself, once more becoming Agent Venom. It was also during this adventure that Flash was also made an honorary Avengers team member. Pretty neat. Number 5. Superior Iron Woman, aka Rescue. Rescue is Pepper Potts, Virginia Pepper Potts, and the editorial name used for her was Superior Iron Woman. I just felt that name was more in theme with what we have going on this list, and we already have Agent Venom on here, who sadly did not really have a cool Iron Man related name during his brief time in the armor, so I was like, I want to try to keep it as Iron Man-y as I can. Pepper became Rescue after Norman Osborn took control, leading the SHIELD replacement organization Hammer. During her escape, Pepper found a suit designed just for her, which also happened to have an AI version of Jarvis inside. She not only has her own suit of highly advanced armor, but she also has the repulsor tech node, which helps to keep her alive after she also had irremovable shrapnel lodged near her heart. But the RT node also acts as an extra sense, allowing her to feel and interact with various types of energy. It also enhances Pepper's senses and grants her increased strength and overall durability. Number 4. Zombie Iron Man. Well, you might think it would be hard to turn Tony Stark into a zombie because of, his Iron Man suit always protecting him. You'd actually be wrong. It was before he could get his suit on that he was bitten while working on a teleportation device thought of as a way to save the survivors on their world and basically shut out the zombies. Which makes sense after all. I mean, you want to be light and breezy and not covered in armor when you're brainstorming up a plan and working on tech that, could save humanity. So I get it. Zombie Iron Man, however, would go on to become one of the longest surviving and most powerful zombies in the Earth-Z universe, gaining the power cosmic after devouring Galactus and becoming known as one of the Zombie Galacti. In the end, however, Zombie Iron Man proved no match for a raging and hungry Zombie Hulk. R.I.P. Zombie Iron Man. Number 3. Iron Man's suit. In the 1998 Iron Man series Volume 3, we get a story where Iron Man's suit becomes its own version of Iron Man after Tony develops a sentient model. Not a great idea, it turns out. This now sentient suit kind of falls in love with Tony and wants to merge with him. Despite all the warning signs, Stark attempts to continue to use the suit for a bit, but eventually realizes it needs to be defeated. When he refuses to merge with the Iron Man suit, it decides if it can't have him, no one can, and attempts to kill Tony for refusing it. However, in the end, the two duke it out and Tony suffers a heart attack. Due to its love for Tony, the suit sacrifices its own mechanical heart for its creator, giving up its life so that Tony Stark can go on living. The whole thing is pretty weird, but also pretty great. And if not for the heart attack, I'm not so sure how Tony would have actually fared in the end against his sentient suit, because it was pretty powerful. I also love the part where he's suffering from the heart attack and he's like begging the suit to kill him so that he doesn't die like an old man. I kid you not, that is the thing that happens. If you want to check out the sentient suit story and Tony begging to be killed because he's like, I can't die from a heart attack, feel free to give issues 26 through 30 of the 1998 series a read. Number 2. Iron Man 2020. I know what you're thinking if you've watched part 1 of this list, but Amanda, wait a minute, didn't we already talk about Iron Man 2020? And you're right, of course, we did talk about Iron Man 2020, but we did not talk about this Iron Man 2020. This version of Arno Stark hails from the Earth 8410, the future. You can tell it's the future because of those sweet gear shoulders on his armor. Just look at those gears, just check that out. This version of Arno Stark is also a genius who is great at inventing things and is meant to be the descendant or semi-close relative of Tony Stark, but not his brother, more like a future relative. A few times he refers to Tony as his Uncle Tony, though seemingly in a more distant sense. It has been mentioned that Tony Stark was his great uncle, though this was before Tony's brother Arno had been established in the comics, so who knows how he's really related. Or if he's related at all, maybe it's all a ruse. Number 1. Ironheart. Ironheart is Riri Williams. Last time on part 1 we talked about another alternate Iron Man from the main continuity who took up the mantle in Tony's honor. And Riri Williams as Ironheart is another hero who also did so, and around the same time too. She caught the attention of Tony Stark and became a sort of young protege and ally of his, after she built her own Iron Man suit by reverse engineering it. She had taken the suit out on a test flight and managed to apprehend escaped prisoners using it, but damaging it as well in the process. When Tony heard of this, he visited Riri and encouraged her interest in becoming a hero. Riri would then ally herself with Tony Stark during the events of the Second Civil War and also be one of the heroes to take his place after he ended up in a coma following his fight against Captain Marvel. Like Iron Man, Ironheart is also a super genius who has managed to invent and create some really impressive tech, sometimes even without access to the best equipment. Which alternate version of Iron Man is your favorite? Do you have a favorite suit model? Who do you think is the most powerful Avenger? Let us know in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I am your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you as always to stay nerdy, YouTube.